So a question for either Herb or Rodney. In 1968, how did the bluegrass establishment react to that? To you guys adding that kind of instrumentation and doing Beatles songs?
You first.
Let me take this one. Bluegrass Unlimited was a periodical for all the bluegrass fanatics out there, which was a small group at that point, and they hated it. they didn't like it. We were straying from, the traditional bluegrass, but it had all been said before, as far as I was concerned, by Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, Bill Monroe, Jimmy Martin, all of these people who came before us, and so we wanted to kind of stretch and bring another color into it, and maybe bring people into what we were doing that wouldn't normally be there for a straight bluegrass band. And so I think we did a good job on it. I think Wood's right. Yeah. Chris just mentioned Joe Val, who had done a Beatles bluegrass album. Yeah, right around that time. Do you remember that?
No. That was the 60s. I don't remember much of anything.
Yeah, well, okay. But, yeah.
Well, it was strange. The next album, Copperfield's, even gotten more and more into a different genre of stuff because we brought in, was it Jimmy Haskell, wasn't it, or Did the Strings?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Al Capps.
Oh, Zach, that's right, Al Capps. He did
Yeah.
the first one, too. But we started exploring other things, and that's when Herb wrote, or he sang on the album. What's the one that Henley loved so much that they did?
Oh, she sang hymns out of tune.
Yeah, Don Henley heard that, and he loved that particular Wheat Straw Suite. He told me he had driven through a snowstorm to see you and I in Texas, he and Jim and Norman.
Yes.
To see the Dillards.
Yes. We were playing some restaurant, I think. Yeah. And it was right around New Year's, and we looked out on the tables, and there were hats and horns on every table. Yeah. And Mitch Jane, who took his delivery very seriously, just he just knew what was coming, and so we did our show, and people really weren't listening very well. They were more interested in getting drunk and getting ready for the New Year's celebration, and so he finally had just, right in the middle of a delivery of one of his stories, which were really pretty good, they were very funny, he just took out his handkerchief and blew his nose into the microphone. And that was
while they were eating dinner.
Really, yeah. So anyway, but yeah, Don came with some of the guys from Shiloh, I guess.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And I remember we were in the dressing room after the show, and Don was in the dressing room, sitting on the floor, talking to Rodney, and Dean and I just kind of stepped out of the picture for a while, but I can't imagine what he was asking you about, what's it like in Los Angeles, and do you think we have a chance?
Yeah, he was, and we worked together here just recently on an album, but he was, I think he was getting ready to hang it up because he had been doing it for 7 years, I think, and I think at the time the group was Felicity. They call it Felicity. And he said, I was thinking, what's it like out there in Los Angeles? I said, man, if you never go out there and give it a try, you kick yourself for the rest of your life. Maybe you ought to go out.
Yep. He showed them.
Yeah. I wish I'd have listened to people.